Okay, welcome to episode 5. We have 2 characters left in our playthrough of Dungeon Quest. Now, for the last 2 episodes, I'm going to be using Tabletop Simulator, and it is fantastic. So I scanned all the components of my copy of Dungeon Quest, and I uploaded it to Tabletop Simulator here. So if you go into Steam and search for Tabletop Simulator, if you click the Community Hub, the cool thing about Tabletop Simulator is you can make mods to it. In other words, create your own board game. So all you have to do, search for Dungeon Quest. Whoops. Dungeon Quest. And you should get all the Dungeon Quests available. Now, I've tried these. I'm playing with the Revised Edition. But the problem is this one is basically using 3rd edition, which is from here. You get different languages as well, like these are Russian and stuff. So I've created this middle one here. It has the TK logo on the bottom right hand corner. So if you click that, so these are all, this is what I created. Just click subscribe, and the next time you start up Tabletop Simulator, under the workshop items, it'll be there. So that's what we're going to be using for our final 2 episodes. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Tabletop Simulator. So we're going to go ahead and click Create. We're playing a single player game. You can't play with other people, so we're going to click Single Player. And we downloaded Dungeon Quest from the workshop. So we're going to click Workshop. And here are all the games that I've downloaded. There's a few games that I've also scanned and uploaded. Maybe I'll make a video on those in the future. But for now, we're going to play Dungeon Quest. All right, so it's loaded. So here is Dungeon Quest, and this is in Tabletop Simulator. So if you want to watch the gameplay, just jump to this time code, because for now I'm just going to do a quick little rundown on how to use Tabletop Simulator. Okay, going really quick. To zoom in, you could use your mouse wheel just like this. You can also move side to side by clicking and holding the middle mouse wheel button. You could also use WASD to do the same thing. Also to zoom, if you highlight an object here, or just middle click anywhere, it'll zoom into that area. Next, to rotate, if you right click and drag, you could rotate around the table. If you hit P, this will bring you into overhead view. And if you hit P again, it brings you into third person view. Now, in any view that you're in, if you want to go back to the home position, just hit your space bar. I'll bring you back to the home position. When you roll over an object, it highlights. While highlighting, you can go ahead and grab things. For example, let's go ahead and grab these monster cards. And in order to grab the whole deck, just click and hold, and you can see that I've grabbed the entire deck. Let me go back to the home position, grab the deck, put on our play area here. Now to grab the top card, all you have to do is click and pull. To flip the card, just highlight it and hit F on your keyboard. To rotate the card would be Q and E on your keyboard. To read the card, let's say there's a lot of information on it. While you're highlighting over it, just hit the Alt key and it will print it to your screen. This comes in really handy for things like characters. To shuffle cards, all you have to do is highlight it and hit R on your keyboard. Click and drag a bunch of cards, and you could go ahead and click R, and that will shuffle anything that is selected. Same thing with dice. If you, for example, I have these 2 dice selected, I hit R, and it will roll the dice for you. You could also roll dice, let me grab these 2, by just grabbing it, shaking it, and throwing it across the table. Player area. So if you're playing with other people, the cool thing is, like for example, let's say I'm Lindell, and I could also, no matter where I am, I could see my cards in my hand because I have a player area. Now, when your opponents have their cards, you can't see them unless they're flipped over. So that's kind of neat. Here's PDFs of how to play. Now you could scroll through the PDF page by page, or you could pop it up to the screen and you could read, you know, the rules and all that. I'm going to keep the PDF up because I need a reminder for our special effect tile, so I'll keep that. And finally, here's the menu. If you want to play with a cleaner view, just hit F11 and it'll get rid of the menu. Okay, so here we are. We're ready to start our game. We got our last 2 characters left for episode 5. So let's go ahead and do our setup. Now over here, there's a little note to remind you, don't forget to shuffle all decks, rune, monster cards, and all of the dungeon tiles. So we're going to select and drag these. We're going to hit R. All right, those are shuffled. We're going to go ahead and shuffle our rune cards, shuffle our monster cards a couple of times, and of course, the dungeon tiles. Next, we're going to grab our sundial, put on our start position. So that's all ready to go. So we don't need this card anymore. We're just going to highlight it, hit delete. Learn to play. We're going to use... Oh, let me bring back the menu. Okay. You can only access... you can only pop things up if the menu is selected. So we're going to go to the last page, close this, and I'm going to put this to the side. We don't need rules reference, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. One thing I should note is that I am going to be rolling the dice in real life, but I will update the results here. So I think I just need 2 dice for now. I'll leave those back here, and I will increase these in size by rolling over and hitting the plus key on my keyboard. We don't need the player tokens. We're not going to need the life tokens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to objects, I'm going to go to components, I'm going to go to tools, and I'm going to bring in a life counter, and that's about it. So now I'm going to increase this so it's more visible. All right, so that's our life counter for our character. What else do we got to do? I think pretty much that's it. The one little component I'm going to grab is a set of 1 die, a D4. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to increase that a little bit. And of course, I just use the D4 to decide where the character enters from, since there are 4 entrances to the dungeon. And I think we're good to go. So let's see which character we are going to play with. Let me go ahead and clear the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. And like I said, I am going to roll it physically, but I will update what we get on the screen. So let's go ahead. This is 1 to 3, and this is 4 to 6. So I'm going to roll the dice. And I have a 1, so it's going to be this character right here. We're going to flip it over, and it is Lindell. He has 15 health, so I'm just going to click this, type in 15. And each time he gains a determination token, he gets 1 more. Now he's pretty balanced. He has 6 health, 6 agility, 4 armor, and 5 luck. So his armor is a little bit less, but that's okay. So we don't need this guy for now, so I'm going to go ahead and delete him. We're going to go grab his miniatures. Now, I am going to update this in the future with the actual minis from the game. I'm going to try to scan them, but that'll be later. I'm also going to need his little catacomb marker, and we can get rid of these 2. All right, so we'll put that here. So let's see. Let me put this in my play area so we can access it. He's also going to need a rune card, which has already been shuffled, and he has found the stasis rune. Discard at the end of your stasis phase to take an additional turn at the end of this turn. So that will help us avoid the advancement of the sun if we need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll this on screen. Let me go ahead and hit R, and we have a 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to start up here. And we're ready to go. I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and play. All right, so let's advance our sun, and let's go. We're either going to go this way or that way. Let's go this way. Let's see what we get. Oh, no, it is the bottomless pit. This game might be over right now. Oh, my God, on the first turn. All right, so the bottomless pit, just to remind us, I'm going to go ahead and pop up the menu again, pop the screen. Bottomless pit. Test your luck. If you succeed, end your turn. If you fail, you die. And I have nothing here to help me. His luck is 5. Oof. So we got to roll 2 dice, and hopefully we will score 5 or less, or else this game is officially over on the first turn. I have rolled, and I have rolled, I'll update it on screen, a 5 and a 5. So it looks like Lindell, he has nothing to help him, has died on his first turn and has fallen down the pit. Goodbye, Lindell. And that is it for episode 5. Hopefully, episode 6 will fare out to be a little bit better. Once again, using Tabletop Simulator. All right, see you then.